So we are going to solve this one. It's called a diagonal difference. It's very interesting problem. And so by default, I'm going to start with Python because it's the easiest one. Okay, what our task is that, as I mentioned so many times before in my previous video, whenever we see a new challenge, we should always start from the sample input and output so that we can quickly understand what it is going on. Otherwise, if we start to read from the beginning, because everything is unfamiliar, we can easily get confused, right? Okay, back to our topic. What is the task of this problem? Is basically telling that, okay, you can see that we have one matrix. We have a we should to customize a matrix with the customized names n, right? The first line contains a single integer n, the number of rows and columns in the square matrix ARR. Okay, the square matrix means the two-dimensional matrix. Okay, and then each of the next n lines describes a row ARRI and consists of n separated integer ARR of I and j. Okay, and then what it is returning, it returns the absolute difference between the sums of the matrix's two diagonals as a single integer. Okay, if you are confused, don't worry. I have already drawn a diagram to explain. Okay, so this is basically to the first line is to input 3, and then it's going to be a 3 squared matrix, 3 into 3 matrix, and then later the user will input a set of the integers which constructs a two-dimensional array. Okay, so this is the case, and then our job is to first to figure out the first diagonal, the left diagonal, that is this one, and then to get a summary of this one. And second, we need to identify the second diagonal, that is which is the blue one, and then we get the summary of this blue one, right? And then as this example, the summary of the orange diagonal would be 11 plus 5 minus 12. That is equals to 4. And then this one is 10 plus 5 plus 4 is equals to 19. And then we need to get the absolute value of the difference between the previous two values. That is basically 4 minus 19. And it's equals to minus 15. But the absolute value is always to consider is as either 0 or positive, right? So that's why the absolute of 15 is equals to 15, and then we return 15 as the output. Okay, that's very simple and very straightforward. And then next we are going to think about the coding. Here, like first of all, this one n is equals to int, and then input, and this is basically to take the user input of n, which is the length of the square array, and then here it initialize an empty array, and also use a for loop and use this stuff. We don't have to understand what is exactly going on. If you really want, just put on comments. I will make the next video to explain the underlying logic of this. But what we should briefly know is that this one automatically converts this set of the input of integer into a square array, which is whatever I have showed you, like it will convert it into a two-dimensional array. Okay, and then now first of all, okay, so here it creates an extra function, right? Kind of like an outsourcing. So we need to edit this outsourcing function and to return the wanted result. Okay, so here as I said, like back to our diagram. Our first step is to get the summary of the left diagonal, right? And the second is to get the summary of the right diagonal. So how to do is that why don't we initialize two integers? Okay, this left indicates the sum of the left diagonal. Okay, sorry, that is C. We need to use hash for Python. Okay, sum of left. Yeah, hope I'm not spelling wrong. Okay, and then similarly, right is for the second diagonal. Sum. Right, and then how to get the sum? I'm sure you were aware that we have to use for loop, right? So for I in range. Okay, now we need to be careful in the range of what? It should be in the range of the length of the array, right? So but what is the length of the array? We can use a function like n is equals to. Actually, I think we had better probably just use L in order to get confused of this n. It actually doesn't affect, but to have a good habit, we just use L. L is equals to the length of array. What array is ARR, right? So here, easily it becomes for I in range of L. And then what is going to be the next? Next, we can have a think. In order to get the summary in the for loop, we can just use this case. Left is equals to left plus the first left is the previous left, and the second is the updated left. What is the updated? It is array of. Okay, so and as it also mentioned here, like the separate integers ARR of I and j. So the first, it also says here, the I indicates the row and the j indicates the column, right? So it should be two values x and y for the left one. And now our job is to think about what should be the row and what should be the column. Let's back to our sketch. This one. So 11 is actually 1 1, right? If we consider this as a mathematic x and the y. Oh, sorry, maybe I change another color to make it better. Yeah, this is x. Here is y. Yeah, y. And so this one should be 1 1, and this is 2 2, and this is 3 3, right? So yeah, that's why it's very easy and straightforward. Here is I. Here is also I, because in the for loop it will automatically it will automatically increase. Okay, and then left and then right is also same method. Right is equals to right plus ARR, and then what is going to be this one? ARR of. So because the first one is the row, so the row will be the same as the previous one. And now very important, what is going to be the column? Because even actually previously for this ARR of left, I haven't explained something, because in the mathematic it is 1 1 2 2 3 3, but actually in coding in program, as you know here, I starts from 0. It starts from 0, and then in range of L, the value of L itself is not included. So for example, suppose we want to, let's just Let me just try to use another pen. Okay, okay, probably here I have already written. Sorry. So suppose in mathematics we want to get 1 2 3. We want to get 1 2 3. In the code, it actually starts from 0 1 2. We write for I in range of 3. If we write here for I in range of 3, it actually starts from 0 1 2, and then because the value of 3 itself is not included, right? So in this case, automatically it will also become 3 values. So the result is the same in this case, but actually the structure is totally different. It's totally different. So similarly, here in mathematics it is 1 1. We like for our mathematic mind, it is 1 1 2 2 3 3, but in the coding it is actually 0 0 1 1 2 2. So right, that's why in this case if we directly write, like in mathematics, obvious it's supposed to be n minus I, and the n is always fixed 3, and I is it starts from, it keep increasing, right? In math, suppose I starts from 1, then it is just n minus 1, but the problem is that I starts from 0, and n as the actually length minus 1, right? For example, here the actual length is 3, it ends with the value minus 1, it ends as 2. So because I starts from 0, so it will maintain the balance. That is the mathematics, but actually here the problem is that because I starts from 0, so we should minus 1 here to make it get balanced. Okay, I hope you have already understand what I'm trying to explain. But just I believe you are already smart enough to get my point. But just in case, how do you erase that? Just in case, I still want to draw a diagram to take the example. Okay, yeah, it's very it's very troubled. Okay, here here in you just focus we just focus on this blue diagonal. In mathematics it is supposed to be 1 1 3, like it starts from the right up corner and end as the left down corner, right? So it starts from 1 3, and then second would be 2 2, and then the third would be 1, sorry, it should be 3 1, it will be 3 1. But don't worry about the row, because the row is the same as previous one. Like since the row is always I, as I keep increasing, so the row doesn't make any effect. But the problem is that the column is keep decreasing. In mathematics, the coordinate is this case, but in program, as I tried to explain, I'm sure you understand my point. It is actually 1 digit minus. It is actually 0 2. Oh, sorry. And then here is 1 1, and then here is 2 2 1 2 0 2 0. Maybe I can try to change the color. Let's change it to pink. Yeah, so that is the case of coding. That is the case of coding. So in this case, if we directly write n minus 1, okay, let us see that here. So if we directly write n minus 1, then it will get confused. It will not find the correct the coordinate. Okay, let's just forget about uh, the row. Just focus on the column, because I believe that the row make us confused. Okay, so like in mathematical mind, it is 3 to 1 in terms of the column. But in the coding, what we want to get is 210, right? That's why if it's n minus 1, n minus I, then n is equals to 3. Because n is actually equals to 3, as I said, it's not included. And then minus I is equals to 0. So then in this case, the first value is going to be 3. Is going to be 3, and then later after I increase up to 1 and is equals to 2, and then n where becomes 2. Then so after calculate, the value is equals to 1. So it's 3 to 1. That is 100% perfect for mathematics. But what we want to get, instead of 3 to 1, we want to get 210, right? So very easy. That's how y minus 1 come here, right? So I believe that you would understand. You would understand more than enough, right? And then so that is basically the case, right? And then next, what we should do is we need to calculate the absolute value, right? So what is the absolute? We can use the function absolute, and right. Either way is fine, right? Minus left or left minus right is fine, and then we can return it here. That's very simple, very easy. But I'm sure you can understand. We can actually simplify it a little bit. Here, like instead of left equals to left plus a variable, we can just write left plus is equals to this stuff. And here, similarly, right plus is equals to this stuff. Oh, sorry, somewhere is wrong. Don't worry, it's under control. Yeah, sorry, it was my problem. Here, it should be L. Hey, don't worry. Okay, don't worry, it was because I was too hurry. There was no problem at all, but I forget to delete this stuff. And now, yeah, everything is working. Everything works, right? And at the end, I want to explain another approach. Another approach is with a more simplified code. What is that? It is instead of to use a separate for loop and a separate sum, like instead of using this stuff, we can just directly to combine it with L up to here. So how to do that? We can basically to use a function sum here, and then array of I here, right? And for that is another very simplified method of using for loop. Or sorry, I in range L, right? So then similar way here, sum ARR, and here is I, and here is L minus 1, minus 1 minus I, for I in range L again, right? So, and then L again is the same as this one, and I think we can delete this code and let's see whether it's working or not. Okay, there is some runtime error. Don't worry. Let's just be patient. We will solve. We will figure it out. Oh yeah, it's because I wrote this at the end. If we reverse the position, it should work. Yeah, it's working. Yeah. submit the code. Okay. So anyway, thanks so much for following my video patiently, and please subscribe my channel so that I will make more useful and helpful videos